All right, so other news making headlines. So in February of 2022, Premier Sisi Ntombela, in her provincial address, made a firm commitment that in 2022, the R70 from Senekal to Ficksburg will be replaced. Yet to date, no work has been done, which has become a concern for many residents who say that they have no other alternatives. Numerous accidents have been recorded on that stretch of road, most recently, on the morning of the 20th of December 2022, when a bakkie with commuters and a taxi collided. Now, both were avoiding potholes. The increase in pothole damage can be attributed primarily to reduced preventative maintenance being applied to many roads, and this is also combined with particularly wet periods during rainy seasons. But we're going to be joined by Jabu Periera, who is a Rosendal Town committee member in the Free State, to discuss the extent of the issue brought to date. Very good evening to you, Jabu. Thank you for your time here on the SABC.
Thanks so much for having me on. Thank you.
Jabu, South Africa is experiencing road shedding, as it's been dubbed, because of provincial and local governments who don't really maintain roads. And this is according to some. I wonder if you could highlight within your area what's the extent of the problem and really how it's affected the community to date.
Yeah, these are really significant roads for the provincial government to manage and maintain. This is in particularly the R70. So it just veers off from the N1. And it's a very important road that connects South Africa to Lesotho, both on an economic and tourist route link. But also it's an important road where communities have to commute on a daily basis to get to schools, to their workplaces. And just, it's a very fundamental road. You cannot, outside of this road, there are only farm roads to ride on, which are also not well maintained. But this is a road that is particularly the mandate for the provincial government to maintain. So
since your address to both the Premier and the MEC of Policing and Transport Office, I mean, has there been a response?
Unfortunately, not yet. There's been no response, despite the provincial government running an Arrive Alive campaign. There's been no positive information that has been provided to us regarding the update. We asked questions to the Premier, saying that in her State of the Province address in February this year, she committed that the road from Senekal, Rosendal to Ficksburg would be replaced by 2022. So we are now on the 28th of December. There's been no information provided with regards to the repair of the roads. There's been nothing has been forthcoming. We've requested a meeting with the MEC for transport. No information has been provided to us with regards to an upcoming date for a meeting or for an update as well.
Jabu, on the back of that, though, are you aware of the numerous claims that have been laid against the road authorities for vehicle damage and even serious vehicle accidents, obviously resulting from excessive large potholes, amongst others, to date?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that kind of data. We've been asking for information from SANRAL and from other authorities regarding statistics. But as you mentioned in your opening, just recently, a bakkie collided with a taxi on this road, trying to avoid the potholes. And the road isn't very flat or straight, so probably poor visibility may have even led to that. But there are parts of the road that one can't even dodge because it's in such an appalling state. And this was a very functional road. That with just basic state management and maintenance could not have been deteriorated to this extent. So I think it's just really poor management, poor negligence, and poor state accountability to providing a safe environment for commuters to travel on. I mean, this road is quite an important road for the agricultural sector. The Eastern Free State, as you know, is incredibly beautiful, but also it's a major food production area for South Africa, and also it's an economic link for transport from Lesotho and economic relations between Lesotho and South Africa. So to see a road that is expected to carry the national pride and national economic pride of a province and a country be in such an appalling condition is really a very poor reflection on the state of our democracy. And it's a very, very poor reflection on the leaders that currently don't even feel any sense of obligation to report back to the people that it's expected to serve on when this road will be replaced and when will the money be spent to ensure that this road is being replaced.
So absolutely, we obviously have to then also look at temporary measures that need to be put in place whilst, those are also adhered to. Ultimately, what should the government be doing to improve the poor conditions of the roads? And I mean, you say as the committee, you have the right to information pertaining to the plans and financial commitments from the provincial government on when it intends to replace the road. Perhaps you could also, look at when you want that to all come to fruition.
Well, the first thing is we want to know why the Premier hasn't made her commitment. 2022 is now ending. We are entering 2023. So already the commitment that was made to the people, she's failed on. So we want to know when that next commitment is forthcoming. It has to be done as a matter of urgency. The government has tried to make provisional remedies, which have all failed. They have thrown sand into these deep potholes that have obviously just washed out because there are heavy rains. So even in these heavy rain conditions, it's even more dangerous because you cannot tell the depth and the extent of the potholes. Now, we've just seen the carnage on the roads, and the government is focusing a lot on be sober, make sure your car's in a good condition, but it's not taking responsibility for damaging our cars, and it's not taking responsibility for killing our people on the roads. So I think there's a responsibility on the state to make sure that we arrive alive. And not just on our citizens to make sure that happens.
Jabu Periera, thank you for your time here on the SABC. Jabu Periera, Rosendal Town committee member in the Free State Province, just in response to the pleas for action to be taken. We've seen back in February of 2022, Premier Sisi Ntombela in her provincial address made a firm commitment that in 2022, the R70 from Senekal to Ficksburg will be replaced. Yet to date, no work has been done, which has become a cause for concern for many residents who say that they have no other alternative. So we thank Jabu for his time and leave that conversation there.